I do want to just, while you're with us, Claire, just bring in a completely different story that we'd spotted. I know you feel strongly about some of this stuff too. The University of Sussex has won its High Court appeal against a record fine that it was handed for its treatment of Professor Kathleen Stock, of course, the gender-critical academic. So the university started a legal challenge back in February following a penalty that was imposed on it of £585,000 by the Office for Students after Professor Stock was hounded from her post by transgender activists. What are you making of this?
Well, it's a real step back for free speech, I can tell you that. I mean, it's a very complicated legal judgment, but effectively it renders the Higher Education Freedom of Speech Act, which was only passed a while ago, and in fact Bridget Phillipson did her damnedest to delay it and defang it. And this was one of the first, but eventually it came in, which was about guaranteeing free speech, anti-cancel culture atmosphere on campus, which of course academic freedom is central to any university that's going to encourage students to pursue critical thinking. And the hounding of Kathleen Stock, Professor Kathleen Stock, was a very well-known example. The University of Sussex really threw their member of staff under the bus. Yep. They deserved to have, whether it should have been 585,000, different question. But the university has spent more on this appeal than the fine. They were so determined to push their, their inclusivity. By the way, this is what it was about. They had material. They basically said course material must, quote, positively represent trans people and trans lives. That is an injunction for compelled speech, completely against academic freedom. Yeah, that was the basis on which the Office for Students took Sussex to court, fined them in the first place. And now for the law courts to have, weighed in and said, no, they very narrowly prescribed why a university can be punished. So one of the lessons from this is even though I fought hard for that Higher Education Freedom of Speech Act, I did warn that the law is never sufficient to guarantee freedom. Maybe relates to what we've just been talking about. You need to build a free speech culture. You can try and you can have a law that bans censorship, and actually it backfires on you, because now what they're saying is, you were trying to ban our academic right to say what's in course materials, or our trans inclusive policies, or our EDI and all the rest of it. And so what we get left with is too many people relying on the law to solve big social, political and cultural problems. I think we need, and I hope we contribute at the Academy of Ideas through one of the projects I'm very involved in, Living Freedom for 18 to 30-year-olds, which is to encourage young people to be the leaders of cultural movements that will not tolerate anti-Jewish hatred, but won't ban it, but we'll argue it out, fight it, expose it, humiliate it, and also expose any attempts at assaults on academic freedom.
It's been brilliant. Claire, always lovely to speak. Some common sense stuff from Baroness Claire Fox. Thank you to her, independent peer and director at the Academy of Ideas.